Hello, welcome to this video where I'm going to be showing off a elevator inspired by Iskall 85's latest Hermitcraft episode. While I was watching his video, I had some ideas for how I could do it myself in a more elegant fashion, so I decided to build it, and here I'll show off how it works. So you have the lobby floor, and you select the floor just like in Iskall's version using a book. So let's say I want to go to floor number 5. I can flip through this as fast as I want. I'll click done. And then once that goes down, I go up the water stream. And then it ends at floor 5, and I can do my thing. Come back down, switch it over to floor 8. Watch that, ticks down, that goes down, and then I can enter the elevator and head up to floor number 8. The elevator itself, the floor spacing can be changed, and it would work better with more space between floors, because as it stands right now, going up the elevator, you kind of overshoot your floor a bit and you have to drift down. Now that can easily be solved by just crouching while you're in the elevator, and then when you get up to the top, you just crouch and then walk forward. But Iskall already built his elevator, and if he wants to copy over the redstone for this, that won't be a big deal. So there's the design, and now I'm going to walk through how it works. Now, just like in Iskall's version, it works based off of a red coder. There is a block in between the comparator and the lectern, which is something you can do with comparators. It makes it more clean on the inside. So from the red coder, it selects the redstone torch, which will be lit. So if I go over here and I switch it from 8 over to 4, see that redstone torch is now lit. So when you're flipping through the pages in the book, it activates this pulse extender. This observer watches for a change in this redstone signal, which activates this pulse extender, which activates this, which is a falling edge monostable circuit. And what this falling edge monostable circuit does is it makes it so that the floor will only be selected once you've finished flipping through the pages. So let's see if I can be quick about this. So let's say I switched over to 8. When that goes, see these pistons extended. Now what that did is, out of all of the redstone torches that are available, only one will be lit. And when this block extends for a moment, it causes this piston to push this block forward. Likewise for whichever floor is selected. Now you'll notice a second line coming off of this. This line is activated first, actually. Notice there's a delay before these pistons are extended. If we follow this line over to here, we see a line of pistons. These pistons push the soul sand back into the initial position. So it's not possible to jam the system with this configuration. And you may be wondering what the soul sand does. Each of these water columns is a bubble elevator. Well, one of them is a bubble elevator, the rest aren't. And what happens is when this piston pushes the soul sand into this water column, it creates an update on this observer all the way up here because it changes it from a simple water column into a bubble column. And this observer then sends a pulse to the dispenser with the water bucket. And it is possible to get the system jammed where the dispenser with the water bucket isn't the one that's properly selected, but that can be fixed pretty easily just by going through and switching its state. I don't know if there's really much else to show. Oh yeah. So this might not apply to Iskall's situation, but I wanted to make sure that you couldn't go through the elevator until it had properly selected the floor. Notice it takes a couple seconds to do so. So what I did was I took a pulse off of the same system that detects when you're flipping through the pages, and I fed that into another pulse extender, this one being twice the length of the other one. And this pulse extender just keeps this piston extended until the system has properly selected its floor. And over here you see that there are some redstone lamps that light up and then slowly, well, relatively quickly tick down until it retracts. That's simply to let the user of the elevator know how soon they'll be able to go in. Just because it may seem a little odd to turn around and not be able to enter the elevator, this will give you the visual cue that something is indeed happening. And I did that real simply. Just I took the signal off of the pulse extender and ran different lengths of redstone to each of the lamps. So as the pulse shortens, first that runs out, then that, then that. Relatively simple. This can all be packaged differently, but the concept itself is really the important part here. I considered doing the vertical columns slightly differently, because technically you don't need all 8. It could be done using binary, and you can express up to 8 different values with 3 binary bits being a... So if I go over here and I get a redstone lamp and a lever, so you can have that state. We would consider this a 0, so let's count from 0 to 7. That's 8 different selections. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's 7. And then back to 0. So theoretically that could have been done using only 3 water columns and then having a binary decoder on each level to determine if that's the level that's selected. So theoretically this could be compacted down quite significantly, at least the vertical portion. The red coder would have to stay the same size, though it could be reduced to only 3 bubble columns, though each column would have to extend the full height. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.